What's up, guys, and welcome to a special video. Yes, finally we were able to reach 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty remarkable considering how small my channel is and how slow the growth it really is. I mean, I'm trying to cover as many things as I can, but my main game is one game, so it's kind of hard to grow as a channel. So I've always tried to stay like I'm probably gonna be a small channel for a very long time. I'm trying my best for you guys. And yeah, so I'm really appreciated that you guys would stay here along with me. Like I said in my community post, that you stay here with me, continue to stay subscribed, continue to watch my content. Some of them are not, you know, the best things in the world. They're not gonna hit a home run, but some of you guys still watch my content even so. I'm always trying to improve my content, trying to get better. So for you guys, I'm gonna try my best going forward even more if I can. So what I've got for you guys, instead of a pull video this time, this is what I want to do, and some of the people said they wanted me to do this, so we're going to be doing a Q&A, if it wasn't already obvious from the title of the video. So this might be a long one, this might not be a long one, I don't know. But I didn't rehearse any of these questions, so I'm just going to say that straight up front, transparency. You're going to have to take my word on it, of course, because I could be lying, you know. I mean, I would never lie to you guys, but still. None of these questions are going to be rehearsed. They're all going to be straight shot, just straight shot, like hot fire questions, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get into that, these questions here for you guys. So we don't have very good production value compared to other people. My production value is very bad, so I'm basically just using Windows photo viewer, and I'm just going to use my hero keys and go through the questions. So first of all, from Annuous Blader 01, their question is, do you think this game will die when New Vision arrives? Well, it already arrived on the JP side and it's still alive, so that part probably not going to happen. I'm assuming you're talking about global, and I don't think it will die on global. I think that they will adjust the rates because they're really bad on JP. I think that they will have the same rates as they've always had. I think that they'll still have the same step up as they've always had. If they remove the step up that they've been doing for the past few months and has been very successful and very much liked, I think that will become very bad. So I just need to stay the course on global. I know there's a lot of things bad on going on global right now, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the person in charge of making these step ups and these banners are doing fine. Keep on with 25k and the 12k, or I think it's 12k. Keep those together. Just stick to this plan. Do not go back to the Black Friday disaster, those kind of banners with the Noctis and stuff. Just stick with what we've got going on right now. I like these on global. On JP we don't have step ups anymore, so that's my opinion on that. Moving on, let's see what's gonna happen here. Okay, good. So there won't have to be any pausing or transitioning. I can just keep going through. So Echan says, thank to the K subscribers, thank you, and good job, thank you. Appreciate that. And he or she, sorry about that, I didn't mean to assume anything. What kind of unit or character would you like to see in the game? In terms of just like anything. We kind of already got what I wanted. Gibranth. He's a physical tank, but he can also chain. I was thinking that was going to be the whole thing all along, but now I have my new thing that I wanted, and I thought this was going to be in the game for a long time. I thought the new Rain was going to be a CG, and I thought it was going to be a tank. I thought they were going to make the first hybrid tank. I thought Rain, this was a long time ago though. I thought Rain was going to be the first tank that was going to be hybrid, so you could cover, not fixed attacks because that would lower their options, but like things that could cover magic and physical at the same time, kind of thing. And maybe if the boss does have real hybrid attacks, I would also be able to cover that. So I thought that was going to be an interesting idea. Like I guess they're just never going to do that, because I guess that would just leave out so many options on the table for them when they're making boss fights. So that's what I would have wanted, a hybrid tank. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're ever going to get that. So Ben Wild asks, what do you think are the most underrated characters regardless of role in the game since the last anniversary? Healers. I think healers have the least role. I think there's only a handful of good healers. I think healers have pretty much a cemented role. It's either Rena or Dr. Aiden or no one else. Lena's kind of like in there too, but I think healers, there's just not... And of course they do this because so they last a lot longer, so it's beneficial for the player, but also when they make a new healer, it's kind of a special deal. If they make a healer all the time, it's not going to be as special. DPS are just churned out like this, but healers are kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of deal with them. So I think healers are underrated. Paul asks, how do I feel about the game being run? And do we have a new player? Yes, I can already say yes to the second part. I'm just going to consider it as one question, of course. But yes, I do think that we have some control, not like a gigantic amount of control. But we have a decent amount of control over it. I think that people when we talk on I don't look on Facebook, but I assume that Facebook is a pretty big thing. I think it's the biggest community in terms of Brave Exvius. So people are talking about on Facebook, people are talking on Reddit, people making YouTube videos like me, although remember I'm tiny. I don't have a very loud voice. But like example of when Clay made videos denouncing certain things that happened, in particular the biggest thing that I did not like either is about when they came out and said everything is fake other than what's coming from us. That was a really bad take, and I hope that they eventually will apologize for that, but I doubt that at this point. I think that the game is being run to the ground. I think that they're just not really, especially right now, this is the best time to ask that question. They're really not doing a good job right now. It's a slow burn right now. People are not convinced that this anniversary is going to be good. There are some people that say like, well, let's just wait it out. I'm usually the person who's like, let's just wait it out a little bit, see what happens. But right now, I'm starting to become unconvinced with how Yumi has ran things in the past. They are not so good at this thing called running a game. I think on this kind of a scale, in terms of Brave Frontier, they kind of ran that into the ground too. Now look at it, it's just life support, and all they do is just do 5 banners a day or something, whatever. That was an exaggeration, but there have been times when I looked at Brave Frontier and there's like 6 or 7 banners at a time. That's ridiculous. So that's what I think on that one. Nose is starting to act up. And so Long asks, would you consider a joint video with another content creator? Well, no one's ever reached out to me, and I don't really have any way of contacting anybody. So I don't really know if anyone would even be interested in doing anything with me. But I've said in the past, at least in my Discord or somewhere else, I've said I would love to do pool battles with somebody. I just don't know if anyone wants to. I don't think anyone cares enough. Remember, guys, I'm like this. The big dogs are way up here. They're probably not even looking down at me. So it's really hard to make like a collaboration in this game, really, with other content creators, because they're all doing their own thing. I'm doing my own thing. No one's really looking at each other. No one's really talking with each other. The only person who's ever reached out to me, really, well, I guess 2 people, really. 2 people. Shadow Program, who comes on my stream sometimes. But the only person who has really reached out to me and said that they might want to do something in the future when I asked is Sinzar. He seems to be a really, really cool, humble guy who I think that would be perfect situation for us if he ever wants to do a pool battle with me, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And I even asked him. So maybe someday I'll be able to do that, but that's just something. Don't go screaming to the heavens like, oh, it's gonna happen now. No, it's just, there's no actual plans. It's just hopes and dreams, right? So there's that. Hope that solves your question there. Eileen, who I just noticed is now becoming a member to the channel, I think, because of the icon. So thank you, Eileen, or Eline. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Eileen, like the Brave Exvius character, who became a member to my channel, so thank you. Much appreciated for that. And here's what they had to ask. After the New Vision update, I see some people quit the game, and also forum that where I used to be is very quiet now. Baby players. What do you think of the game state now? It's a very sad state. LM needs to tweak the rates back up to 3%. I think that they need to do that, and I think that there's a whole lot of other things that they need to do in order to get things going. They need to make all of those farming stages for leveling up Neovision abilities permanent. Just make them a long list. They've turned it around a little bit where they've made them semi-permanent, where they come back every so often. They just need to stay there. Just stay as a thing where they can farm. I think that needs to happen. So, state of the game right now is going to really be determined by the JP's anniversary coming in a few months. It's not anytime soon from now. It's like early November-ish. So it's a long time from now, but it's going to be a culmination right there. If they do the same thing they did last anniversary, it's not going to go too well. So there's that. Red Ash asks, what's my favorite FFB soundtrack? Actually, I think the Season 3 soundtrack is probably my favorite right now. It is more my type of music where it's kind of like electronic-y, techno-y, more upbeat, and it's just easy to listen to. It's not chorus and orchestrate all the time, or like in Season 1 and 2. Season 3's soundtrack I think is the best for me. And have I ever played any other Final Fantasy games? Yes, I have. I played 8, 9, 10. I played Final Fantasy 15 on stream a few times and a long time ago, back when I was even smaller than I am now. I had played 15 on stream. I like that game too. I hope to finish that whenever my new PC is finished. There's a whole lot of drama about that. I'm not going to get into that. And what is my favorite Final Fantasy soundtrack in general? That's a tough one. That's actually a really tough one because I like. There are several that I like, so I'm just gonna leave that up to. I like lots of them. I can't really pick. I like 8, 9, 10. And I like 15 soundtrack too because that's like a whole bunch of other stuff in there too. So that one's too hard for me to answer. I'm sorry. I like a lot of them. That's my answer. We have another Ash. Ash Williams now asks, what is my first Final Fantasy exposure before knowing that the series and genre as a whole? Well, 9 was my first game. 9 was my first game experience. I know most people's experience was Final Fantasy 7. I've never even played Final Fantasy 7, so maybe if the remake comes to PC, I'll be able to play that. But yeah, I've never played 7. 9 was my first game when I was a kid, and I've always been an RPG kind of person anyway, so I played a lot of other kind of RPGs. And in fact, Xenogears, another RPG, is my favorite all-time RPG of all time. That's kind of why I always went hard for Xenogears collab and FFBE, because Xenogears is my favorite RPG of all time. And I kind of say I'm quite good at it. I've played a lot of playthroughs of that game, so that is my answer. And Papyrus asks, what is my favorite Sailor Moon character? If you guys don't understand what he means by that, like basically Season 3 is like so Sailor Moon reminiscent. And Pone or Cleom are my favorites, hands down. And in terms of the actual show, I don't really remember it that much. Like, it wasn't really my cup of tea. I think I used to watch it if there was nothing else on. I think that was kind of how that went down. So there's that. Jeremy Johnson asks, I'd like to know what your favorite content is to create for FFB. My favorite content to create is the units that destroy everything videos. And I know it's not everybody's favorite content or cup of tea. I try to make them, pretty insightful, pretty cool to look at, to show you guys what units can do. That is my favorite type of content. I can't always do it all the time because that means I have to pull for the unit and I have to have the unit, but that's my favorite kind of content. That's why I kind of always like to make them for you guys. So there's that. Danny Ong asks, what is the Neovision units that a free-to-player should invest in since we're getting in global? I sure hope that the rates will be better, like I talked about before. I sure hope the rates will be better. Just looping this really quick, sorry. What should you invest in? Well, that's kind of hard to answer right now because we don't know who's getting Neovision, because they've only specified that not every single unit is getting Neovision upgrade. only some characters are getting Neo Vision upgrades. So, Lastwell is good. Sinzar's been using Lastwell quite a bit. CG Lastwell, he's good. Balthier is decent. I'm trying to think of who else is old. Sakura, CG Sakura is good. Dark Sheena is good. There's a lot of old, Neo Vision characters. I mean, old 5 stars are getting Neo Vision, like Dark Veritas. He has a bunch of killers. It's really nice, really nice. So there's like a lot of old characters that are really good. Lauren, I think, is gonna be really delayed, but I think she's really good too. Breaker and DPS in one, really awesome. Tifa, of course, everybody knows about Tifa. Tifa's amazing. The biggest problem is that we don't know if Global is going to give away Tifa like JP did, because on the JP side they gave away Tifa's 5-star, her Prism, her Team Moogle 100%, and STR Moogle 100%. So we don't know if that's ever going to happen. And remember, guys, to be able to upgrade old units to Neo Vision that are accessible, you need to have their STMR. So there's that. Jose asks, should you use your EX tickets prior to Neo Vision? Probably shouldn't use them all at once right now, but remember that you cannot get Neo Vision units from EX tickets, but you could get old 5 stars and make them into Neo Vision units. So you can look at it that way. Instead of looking at it the way that you can't get them, you could look at it the way that you're going to be able to maybe get some older units that could turn into Neo Vision. So there's that. I think that's the best way of looking at EX tickets at this point. John Doe asks, in your opinion, who is the best Neo Vision currently? I think the best overall unit right now is either Axstar or Furion in terms of meta. In terms of damage, of course, Tifa is the best, and everybody's using Tifa as a one-shot, but in terms of chaining, Tifa's not the best. That would go to Lauren or Furion, the new Furion, or Axstar. I think Axstar is also really strong. So there's that. I'm saying there's that all the time. Sorry, guys. Do I enjoy playing FV right now? Well, if I didn't enjoy it, I probably wouldn't be playing it. So, alright, next question. No, I'm kidding. What should they do? They should start, they're I don't know if this is Square Enix doing this or is it Alan and Gumi doing this, but they finally had I think it is Square Enix, but finally they have a community manager, but I think this one's going to be a lot... Sorry about that. I think this one's going to be a lot weaker than the one that we used to know, who used to be, or more open in front of everybody and talking to players and stuff. I think this one's going to be a lot more lurkish. He's going to lurk and he's going to look at stuff. He's going to relay that to his, supervisors and things like that. I think that they need to listen to players a little bit more, not fully, because there are people who demand a little bit too much. But I think listening to the player base in general, like at least skimming the top, maybe going in a layer or two, and getting that dip and eating it a little bit, and eating the player base's information and concerns. I don't know why I even made that kind of like a 6-layer dip or something. I don't know. That was weird. Anyways, there's that. I think that they need to listen to, at least not fully. They need to listen to the player base a little bit, but not completely, because that would be outrageous. Chop asks, before the 7-star era, what unit did I use the most? That would be Vaughn, Pone, and Cleon. Those are the 3 that I use the absolute most. Oh, and Kuja. But the thing with Kuja is that he basically is as strong as a Neo Vision unit. He is so strong that he basically is a Neo Vision unit in terms of power. So Kuja, you cannot go around Kuja. Even if there's like that hasn't been like this in a long time, but there's that stigma with the meme. The meme of global exclusive units after a really strong banner. That hasn't happened in a long time. I think that stigma needs to go away. Just throw it out the window. Yuvin, I think that's how you need to say it. Yuvin, is it worth it to pull for Neo Vision units if some Rainbows units can clear harder quests? Nah, I don't think so. Really don't need Neo Vision units for a long time. You still don't. It's been months since Cloud has come out, and you still don't need Neo Vision units to clear anything at all. You need nothing. You can still use 7-star units. Of course, it's going to be a little bit slower, but you can still do it. It's possible. It's definitely possible. And just like how 7 stars were, in the game. Eventually, there will be a point where at least 1 or 2 Nevis units will be required to complete the trial, and then eventually it'll start going and progressing in until you need a whole team of Nevis units. But we're not even close to that kind of progression yet, so don't worry about too much, guys. I know there's a lot of overblown fear about Nevision. I think we just need to calm it down a little bit, wait for what's going on in global first, and see what happens. Jad asks, did you pull for Rem or Ace or Pwn Poppy? And that's a very good question, because right now this is a very hard situation right now. I do think that Rem and Ace will be a lot better on global because they'll have bolting strike. At least I'm assuming that they'll have bolting strike frames, because they did have them on JP. So if they do have bolting strikes, they will be very good. Since they'll have bolting strike, they'll be able to interact with a lot of other units that were not able to interact on the JP side. So I do think that Rem and Ace will have a lot more use, and they're getting buffed. So there's that. Pwn is very useful, though. I used her in the latest JP trial. Pwn is really useful. So I recommend Pwn, definitely. Pwn. If I could do more thumbs up than 2, I would do that. Noctis, of all people, asks. Alright, we have to answer Noctis' question, guys. So best provoke evade unit by each category. This is a little complex to ask. I'm only gonna go into a little bit of it. Best provoke unit, I think, is just Vaughn. Vaughn is the best provoke unit ever. He can be a finisher, he can be a provoker, auto provoker, he can be an evasion, dodge, tank unit, provoking unit, stuff like that. And he also has high tier breaks and also really strong imperils for wind and also fire. So Vaughn is the best, and that'll probably be that way for a long time, just like how Cecil is the best magic tank for a long time. So there's that. Now we're moving on to Discord questions. The last one, the ones we were answering before, were YouTube community tab questions. Now we're moving over to Discord questions, which like I said, guys, I was trying to find questions from Discord, questions from the community tab, questions from anywhere really. So this one's from Discord. And Bruh Sound Effect, someone from my Discord community, asks, what type of music am I listening to or into? Power metal is my main source of enjoyment in terms of music. I've always listened to power metal. Power metal is my passion in terms of if I want to listen to that. Or I just listen to video game music. It's kind of the thing that happens with that. So either video game music, stuff like that, or power metal. And I recommend, if you guys are looking for a new genre to listen to, power metal is definitely the one you want to look at. FCon, another YouTuber, so shout out to FCon. He's another Final Fantasy Brave Execute YouTuber. So I guess I'll just give him a shout out since I'm big enough to help him out with that. So he does trial clears and things too. So what motivated me to start a YouTube channel, particularly about gaming and FFB? Well, for some of you who may know, I used to be just a stream viewer, and and watcher of Umber Rays, who kind of does the same stuff as me, or I'm doing the same stuff as him almost. I'm not covering more of the visions, but yeah, he was basically an inspiration, because I was watching him for a while and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do this now too. I'm tired of just being just a stream viewer. I want to actually talk about things to people. I want to actually educate people about certain things, and like you guys appreciated some of my videos. So I was tired of being a viewer, and that's fine. If you just want to be a viewer, that's fine. I was tired of being just a viewer, another person in the crowd. I wanted to be in the front of the crowd. So that was my motivation to become a YouTuber. Now, hopefully that doesn't insult anybody, but that was just my opinion. I wanted to be in the front. I wanted to talk to you guys. I didn't want to just listen forever. So that's my honest answer. How old am I? 29. When will I do a poll versus other streamers or some? I don't know. It's so weird. J-Ho is basically the Discord troll. Basically, it's not a huge troll or anything. Like, he's not trolling all the time, but he does do troll sometimes. I put up with it, but he said minions. Excuse that term. I'm assuming he just means like viewers and fans. I would love to do it anytime anytime we can do that. We can do that. I just answered, a bit ago with doing collaborations with other YouTubers. I'll always do it. Not always do. I would like to do it with other viewers or streamers or anything. So anyone who is a streamer or another FFB content creator that wants to do a collaboration with me, this is my announcement. I'm open for business to anyone who wants to do a collaboration with me. If you're actually watching 25 minutes into the video, I think you care enough. I told you guys this would be pretty long, but it's not like 2 hours long though. It's not like 2 hours long, so that's my answer. I'd love to know how much money you spent on getting Kefka. Yes, it was insanely salty, and I did a reaction video to my saltiness because that was back then before I started talking. So if you missed out on the Kefka salt reaction poll thing, it's on my channel. Anyways, it was expensive. I'll say in the $500 to $6 range, and I told you guys I don't want to lie to you. So I think it was like in the 500, 600 plus range for that, and it was definitely not worth it. I got egged on because I got one Kefka from a 5-star EX ticket, and that's what sets that off. So if I could go back and stop myself from doing that, I would definitely. But then you guys wouldn't be able to see the entertaining saltiness. Favorite characters in season 1, 2, and 3. Season 1, there really isn't anything that interesting in season 1. I don't think I have any favorite characters in season 1. Season 2, I just think like, I don't know. I just don't have any really big favorites, really. Volca, I guess. Volca's pretty interesting. I don't like the part where they devolved basically Citra and Volca into these, fangirls for Nicole of all people. Like, no insults to Nicole, but come on. What was up with that? That kind of just like ruins a lot of the character plot for me, that they just devolved them into that because they didn't know what to do for them. So, and for season 3, you guys already know that Owen and Clem are my favorite characters in that season. So, there's that. Thoughts on the 5th anniversary and New Vision raids? I have very low expectations for the 5th anniversary, considering all the things that they've done for the past few months for now. I think that they're in the milking phase for Neovision. It's new mechanic, but I just think that right now it's not looking too good and it's making a lot of people afraid, understandably so. And the rates of Neovision, I have already said many times, I do not like them. 1% is stupid, and it's basically back in 2008 or however long ago it was when you're just basically throwing Labus at a banner and hoping that you get, hope for the best. So there's that. Thoughts about the future of summon tickets and EX tickets. Summon tickets are being phased out. If you guys didn't know, I made a video on that specifically a while ago. I think like a few weeks ago now. Maybe like last week. I don't know if it was like 2 weeks ago or something, but yeah. Basically summon tickets are being exited from the game, from Elm. They're basically getting Thanos snapped out of the game, and basically only King logs or login systems give tickets anymore, and they're being replaced by limited time EX tickets basically. And I think that's a really bad idea, but that's what they're doing. I don't like it, so that's my thoughts. I don't like it. I haven't liked it since they started a long time ago when they removed Lapis, and now they're removing tickets. Well, they can't decide on which one they want to start removing. The tickets is the flavor of the month where they want to remove everything. Thoughts about newest trials difficulty, mainly including the break bar mechanic. I don't like the break bar mechanic. It's really lazy to make it so the boss lasts a lot longer. And now that they've nerfed barrage abilities into the ground, and now you have to actually they're trying to monetize themselves on being able to have Neovision units that have the break ability in their kit already. So I don't like that too much. I don't like the break bar mechanic. I think that they could have made more bosses that were more interesting without this. But it's a reality we're living in now, so there's that, unfortunately. What are some character mechanics that if you were a developer you implement? Well, like I mentioned, the hybrid tanking was probably my number one thing that I would like to put in. And possibly, a way to cure Berserk, perhaps. There is absolutely no ways of curing Berserk besides like dispelling your team, I think, at this point. There's no other way of curing Berserk. So that's probably, I would make a healer that finally could cure Berserk. That would be their niche of doing that. Just like Calmia can cure Zombie. But this healer that could cure Berserk wouldn't just be, you know, oh, just cure Berserk and that's it. She would have a lot of other things, just like how Calmia has a lot of other things too. So that's my answer with that one. Just Berserk healer. What made you start doing YouTube and Twitch? Like I mentioned, Umber Ray's, I was a regular in Umber Ray's chat, and also in the comment section of his videos. I saw that he was doing YouTube as a JP player, so he was doing English commentary, and I was like, I want to do that. I've been playing JP for a long time too. I don't know a lot of Japanese like him, but I wanted to, you know, do that kind of thing. So that's in terms of Twitch. I wanted to, you know, expand my audience. I wanted to try and grow even further, because that's kind of how you grow on YouTube and things like that. You have to expand your audience, like you expand yourself into a lot of other social medias. And even though they're not that big, my Twitch channel is not that big, I'm trying my best to become a streamer and YouTuber at the same time. How much money and time have you spent on the gacha game? A lot of time and a lot of money. This is probably one thing that I will not be honest on. I'm sorry guys, I'm not gonna specify how much money I've spent. Just a lot. I think that's a good answer. I think you guys might understand that I don't want to disclose how much, because I don't want to even think about it really. Just a lot of time and a lot of money. That's how I want to answer that. Sorry guys, if you were looking for a more specific number, I don't really want to give it. What am I like in real life? What kind of job do I have? Well, how I'm like in real life, I'm more, you know, I'm an introvert. You know, it's really strange. So this basically, I guess that's another answer to that question of why am I doing this. I'm an introvert, so this is more like a challenge to me. If you guys look back, way back then, I don't know if it's even possible anymore, to check out my first few videos where I was really bad at this. Now I'm still kind of bad at this, but I'm getting better. So basically this is like a challenge for me to be, you know, I'm an introvert, but I'm trying to become more open and talkative to people. Sure, I'm not talking to someone directly. I'm trying to my best to be more open and talking to people and things like that. So that's the reason why I'm like, in real life I'm an introvert. I kind of stay to myself. I go to work, I go home. That's really it. And what kind of job do I have? I am an IT guy. But basically I fix computers. That's my real job. This is my secondary job. So there's that. And I think, no, there's still one more I think, or one or two more I think. Why do I continue to play Final Fantasy? Well, I like RPG games in particular. I love RPG games in general, like The Witcher, like Golden Sun. You guys know I love Golden Sun from listening to the music that I play. RPG games are just the kind of thing that I've always enjoyed. So that is the reason why I've been sticking to Final Fantasy for this long, because I love RPG games. How did it start with the Final Fantasy franchise? It was my favorite Final Fantasy game. Like I said, Final Fantasy 9 is the one thing I started out with, and then I played 10. Then I think I went backwards with 8. And I had not really been able to experience any of the other, like anything before 8, because I haven't had the opportunity of doing that. So there's that. And my favorite game is probably 9, but it's really hard. I like a lot of them, so it's kind of hard. What I consider, I think this is the last question. Would I consider having a day where I can play games with my viewers? Sure. If there's ever an opportunity where I can play games with my friends, or not friends, viewers, if there's ever a chance to do that, I would definitely do that with you guys. If I could ever have like a stream, like a viewers stream or something like that where I could play with you guys, that would be fine by me. And that's it. So we're done. Hope this question and answers was good enough for you guys. I know I didn't spend as much time on some questions as others, but I tried to be, straight shot, like I said, trying to answer them as best as possible and without being rehearsed. None of those questions were rehearsed. I looked at them, of course, but I didn't like sit down and just analyze how can I answer this question. No, I didn't do that. It was unrehearsed. So maybe some people like that being rehearsed, but I wanted to be more, more more relaxed and just answer them as they come, rather than rehearsing them. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below what we should do for the 3,000 subscriber special. Nah, I'm kidding. That's not gonna happen for a very long time, guys. If we reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that'd be amazing. I'm not predicting to get 3,000 subscribers for a long time, but I appreciate you guys that are here now, or the people that are gonna join because of this video or in the future. So thank you guys for sticking by. 2,000 subscribers, thank you again, much appreciated. So if you liked the video, please give a like. If you didn't like the video, please give a dislike. And I'll see you guys in the next one. 2,000 subscribers, thank you very much for being here with me. Peace out.